Sadhgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai, and welcome to Jagadambe Reads the Holy Books of India, Ramayana40. As you may remember, Surbi was given permission by Vasishta to create an army. Surbi just shook her body once, and there appeared a huge army. Hundreds of warriors, and they went to fight with the army of Kaushika. Finding that his army was being defeated by this one created by the cow, Kaushika, with his eyes red with anger, entered the fight and fought with the army of Surbi. Seeing her army suffering at the hands of the king, Surbi created more warriors to join in the fight. Even as the army got thinned out, Surbi kept on creating more and more. Kaushika was now joined by his sons, and altogether they attacked Vasishta himself. The rishi with a hunkara burnt all of them, and only a heap of ashes was left of the sons of the king. Kaushika was heartbroken. His army was gone and his children were dead. He was completely broken. He was like the ocean without its power, like a serpent with its fangs pulled out, like a bird whose wings had been severed. His pride was humbled, and his face was like the setting sun. All its fierceness was gone. Without a word, with his head hanging down, with his eyes bent on the ground, Kaushika left the ashram of Vasishta and went back to his kingdom. Kaushika's anger was unappeased, and his thoughts were always hovering around the humiliating defeat at the hands of the cow's army in the ashram of Vasishta. Kaushika was disgusted with everything, and he made a son of his stay and mind the kingdom. He then went to the forest. He went to the slopes of the Himavan, where the Kinnaras were, and he began to perform a great tapas with a desire to please Lord Mahadev. After a time, the Lord was satisfied with the penance of Kaushika, and he appeared before him and asked him, "Why are you performing this tapas? What is it you desire? I will grant you anything you ask for." Kaushika prostrated before him and singing his praises, he said, "My lord, if you are pleased with me, then grant me this boon. I should be proficient in archery. Grant me that I'm the master of all the divine astras. Please be gracious enough to accede to my request." Mahadev said, "I have given them all to you. Go in peace." Kaushika went back to his kingdom. His self-respect was restored, and with it his pride came back too. It grew tenfold now. He told himself, Vasishta, the great rishi, is as good as dead. How can he withstand the astras, which are presided over by the gods? 22. The power of the Brahmin. Kaushika went to the ashram of Vasishta, and without any warning began to dispatch the astras, one after another. The birds and animals which were in the ashram rushed out in panic. The disciples who were living in the ashram with the rishi were also startled by this sudden harassment, and they fled from there in fear. The ashram and its surroundings were now as bare as soil, which is salty and good for nothing. There was silence reigning, and it was frightening. Vasishta was extremely angry with this cruelty on the part of Kaushika. He told himself, for no reason at all, this king is bent on troubling me again and again. I will destroy him like the sun burns up snow. Vasishta came and stood before Kaushika and said, "This peaceful hermitage, the haven of mental peace, has been destroyed by you, and I'm very angry with you. You do not know anything about proprieties, and you are a fool. I'm going to kill you." Vasishta lifted up his staff, which began to glow like the staff of Yama, the Lord of Death, like the fire which burns without smoke at the end of the Yuga. Kaushika was not frightened by his words, since he had the divine astras with him. He invoked the astra presided over by Agni, the god of fire. Vasishta hurled his danda at Kaushika and said, "So you have come to challenge me with your divine astras." Sadhgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you for coming. I hope you come again.